This night was not going the way I'd intended. Your end goal wasn't to get Jamie and Cav alone, so you could punish them for tempting you? Fine, whatever. That might have been something I'd contemplated a time or two, but not tonight. Then again, I wasn't sure I really had a solid plan when I texted Jamie. Drinks, conversation, that had been on the menu. Yeah, I simply wanted to see her. Didn't matter when or where. What I hadn't expected was to be taking her back to my place. Having Cav along for the ride was a bonus, but not on the initial blueprint either. What the fuck was I thinking? A limo? Cav said with a smirk. Going all out, are you? I was tempted to flip him off, but I refrained. Once the two of them were settled inside, I gave Ed the instructions to take a scenic route back to my apartment, then climbed in behind them. The walls of the limo suddenly closed in around me, suffocating me with a constant reminder that I was moving this in a direction I wasn't sure I was ready for. Stop thinking too hard. I didn't trust myself in an intimate setting with Jamie, so this was risky. She tested my limits, and I didn't know how she managed. There was too much tension, if you asked me. Between me and her and Cav, me and Cav. It was there, a sizzling undercurrent that none of us could simply ignore. There was only one way I saw it ending, and I was in no hurry to move things along. So what's the problem? As far as I was concerned, there were three. 1. Jamie was a virgin. 2. Jamie was 12 years younger than me. 3. Jamie was not a submissive. If we pursued this, where was it going to lead? Maybe you could come up with a list of negatives for Cav while you're at it. 1. Cav was a dom. 2. Cav was my best friend. 3. Cav was not disposable. But Jamie is? No, and that was another problem. I didn't have enough fingers and toes to count the number of submissives I've been with only once, and then moved on, whether by my choice or theirs. When in the club, there was a certain expectation, or lack of, perhaps. Unless you were coupled up, one-night stands were common practice. After a night of play, you would continue to see that person week after week, month after month, sometimes with little to no interaction. Point 3. She's not a submissive, remember? No worries there. I sighed. If I could treat this as a one-nighter, we'd all be happy. Would you? On the other hand, I didn't have that sort of relationship with Cav, and I certainly didn't want that with Jamie. No, you want more. You want it all. No, not necessarily. Liar. Okay, yes, fine. I could admit I've been thinking about Jamie since our date, going over the events in my head and trying to point out the negative. Except there was nothing I could come up with aside from my main 3 points. Truth was, I wanted to get to know her and vice versa, to see if there was something there. I was tired of one-nighters. I wanted more, and for the first time in a damn long time, I'd met a woman who intrigued me.
Edge?
I jerked my attention to Jamie, who was sitting beside me, Cav across from us. Sorry, just a little distracted. A little? It's been 10 minutes since you said anything. Jamie nodded, her eyes lit with understanding, which kept me from having to explain.
We could always grab a pizza at a restaurant, hang out at a bar for a bit.
She suggested.
Or even call it a night if you'd like.
I instantly shook my head. That's the last thing I want.
Are you worried we're moving too fast?
How was it this woman seemed to know what I was thinking?